how did everything start for you? Like, you're a science teacher, so how did
Yes.
everything start? Like, how did you become famous on Instagram and on YouTube for dunking?
Okay, so everything started. I'm gonna go back to the beginning. It started the day I graduated high school. So graduated high school. I was a track and field athlete. I got a track scholarship to UCLA. So UCLA emails you. You go to college. You have to get your school email. So they send me this message, and it's, hey, you need to make an email. And I started typing my name, JClark, at UCLA.edu. Obviously, that sounds very common, so that didn't work. So I couldn't think of anything, so I just put JClarkTheJumper, and I clicked enter. I thought it was going to be like a temporary thing, and I found out that it was permanent. So that JClarkTheJumper actually started in high school.
Oh, wow.
I had a teammate of mine used to give me a hard time because whenever I sent out emails, like if we were doing a study session or something like that, you got a message from JClarkTheJumper. So naturally, when Instagram started, JClarkTheJumper was there. It's something that I've always been a jumper, track and field, high jump, triple jump. So that's where the jumper really kind of came from. I did the whole track and field thing, graduated in 2011, had some success. I was a two-time All-American triple jumper. And at the time, the goal was to go to the Olympics in 2012. So I graduated. I had a year off. My goal was to focus. I'm a train, go to the Olympics, be a pro track athlete, live my best life. And that first year, I kind of learned right then and there. All of your dreams don't come at you like that. So. Didn't make the Olympic team, was kind of stuck, didn't really know what I wanted to do because, up until that point, that's what I had lived to do. So kind of really had to figure out what I wanted to do. I got a full-time job. I was working. And then I would train just because, why not? And I love playing basketball because I got to jump and show off my athleticism. So after games, I just started dunking, and people liked my dunks, and I started posting dunks. At the time, Instagram did not have videos, so the first couple dunks that I posted, I know I'm showing my age now, were pictures. They were pictures, and then Instagram got video, so I started posting dunk videos.
Quick question, really fast.
Yes.
Who was taking the pictures, and how? Okay, honestly.
It was
how are they able to capture you in air to take pictures in the first place?
No, so what I did was I actually filmed it, and then I would just cut the film into the pictures. Yeah, no, I was. So I was doing that, and then Instagram obviously got video. I started posting videos, and my videos started to gain followers. At the time, I had 600 followers, like any normal person. And that 600 turned into 800. That 800 turned into 1,000. And I noticed this trend of people posting this. I like doing this. And at the time, now it's fast forward to 2013, 2014, I decided I wanted to go back into track and field. So I got a gym membership at LA Fitness, and I was lifting and I was working, trying to make everything happen at the same time. And every time I would go into the gym, I started playing basketball because I just wanted to stay in shape and dunk a little bit after, then go lift for my track training. And more over time, my devotion to training went to dunking, and I didn't care as much about track and field. And I know that the day, and I'm going to go back and try to find the video. There was a day I was working on a dunk, and I was so frustrated because I couldn't get this dunk, and I had track practice within the next hour or so. And I was mad that track practice was getting in the way of this dunk that I was trying to do. And right then and there, I knew, I didn't know about the dunk community, but I knew that was something that, this is what I want to do. So right then and there, I kind of stopped the track and field dreams and really started to pursue the dunk game. And I met up, I was fortunate I lived in LA at the time with Billy Duran, who runs Dunkademics. He met up with me, and we shot my first video, and it kind of exploded. It went viral. I was on Sports Center and ESPN and all these weird things, and I was people started to recognize me in the airport, And it was just kind of this really, cool thing that kind of took off and within like this dunk world. And I, was able to travel and do these amazing things and amazing opportunities. And then in 2000, I want to say it was 2014, 2015, I tore my ACL in a charity basketball game. Or it was Ron Beals Day at Venice Beach. Went up for a dunk, came down, dislocated my knee, tore my ACL. And at that time, I kind of realized that, I love this dunk thing. I love traveling. I love doing this, but this is not forever. This is not a permanent thing. I need to find something from where my body goes that I can still continue to support. At the time, I was engaged, and I wanted to be able to support my wife. I knew I wanted to have kids one day, so I decided to go back to grad school for kinesiology. I wanted to become a track coach. I was like, I could do that, and I could still kind of, dunk. And I started grad school. And in order to pay for grad school, I started substitute teaching. I found out, like, you can make some money here and there and you didn't have to work every single day. The first day I stepped into a classroom, I remember by the time it was lunchtime, I called my wife and said, I'm going to be a teacher. Like, I love this. This is kind of fun. And I just, from there, I realized I can merge both of my passions together and, never really look back.
So if you have to pick which one you're more passionate about, is it teaching or dunking?
Honestly, it depends on the day. There's some days there's some days I really vibe and connect with my students, and I love being a teacher. A lot of times I would say, like, especially if I'm super sore and my body doesn't feel great, like, oh man, teaching is the way to go. I don't have to run. I don't have to wake up and train hard. But, I still have that passion for dunking. I still love jumping. I still love, traveling and making those opportunities. And I think I really hit the jackpot with, the whole teaching dunking thing, because it's something that I can do both very successfully. It's not the easiest thing in the world, but there is that possibility of having success in both fields at the same time.
So how is it like being a teacher and a dunker, and then not even being a dunker, but being famous on Instagram? Like, how do they treat you at school? Like, I know you gotta be the man at school. You gotta be.
The Instagram fame definitely helps me as a teacher in a sense of, commanding attention. Really, a lot of times, worst case scenario, if I need to bribe a student to, like, get some work done, oh man, if you get this done, I'll shout you out, or, I'll put you on the gram or something like that. Or we could do a TikTok together.
Oh my God.
I'm not gonna lie, I will use that if I can.
I'm not mad at you.
But it's very tough because I teach 8th graders. I teach 13 and 14-year-old kids who sometimes have a misconception about being famous equaling, being successful and having a lot of money and, not having to do stuff. And that's not the case. I really try to, relay the message that, I have a lot of people that follow me, but that doesn't mean anything. I still have to work hard. I still have to, clock in every single day and give my best effort, because take away those followers and I'm a teacher just like everybody. I'm a person like everybody else. So it does have its advantages, but more than anything, I just kind of want to stress that, I'm just a normal guy like everybody else.
I respect that. So, I was snooping on your page and on your YouTube channel.
Okay.
And I saw one of your recent videos. You basically were you were setting up like a concoction. It's how you set your basketball goals to dunk outside.
Yeah.
And I was like, what does his neighbors think? Like, what do your neighbors think about this? Like, do they think you're crazy, or like?
It's a mix, obviously, because in my most recent video that I posted, I was vlogging myself having to move my hoop. So, I built the ramp on the side of the house to get to 10-10. The goal was to get to 11, but 10-10 was the best that I could get. If I can dunk 10-10 consistently on that hoop, I'd be ready for almost anything in the world, contest-wise. A lot of my neighbors kind of know who I am, and they'll see me out there filming, and they'll come by and wave and stuff like that. But there has to be at least one that doesn't like it, because I got a notice from the city saying I had to move my hoop. So I moved it.
They're hating.
Yeah. I moved it. So yeah, it is what it is. I knew it was gonna happen. My wife actually, once I started building it, she was like, "Someone's gonna say something. It's too gaudy, and it was in the way." So for the most part, people didn't care, but that one person did, and I didn't want to risk getting fined. So yeah, we had to move it. I still plan to do some really cool stuff. I was looking into a glow in the dark dunk session. So I'm gonna buy a lot of like glow in the dark sticks and
That's dope.
try to set up the court outside, and hopefully no one complains that I'm like dunking at 10 o'clock at night. But I think it'd be a cool little concept. So we'll see how that goes.
It would be really, really dope. So okay, are there any misconceptions? Because for one, you're a dunker, and for two, you're on social media. So is there any misconceptions with you?
Definitely. I think within the dunk community, are you talking dunkers in general or just myself?
You can in general, because I know more people, deal with it besides you.
Yeah, I think in the dunk community in general, a lot of times within the social media, just like any fields, the social aspect of stuff doesn't necessarily, it's not always real. So you do run into one of the big things I think with dunkers, and it's always a touchy subject, is rim height. And obviously not all rims are created equal. So a lot of people have issues with that. My biggest take on that is if it looks cool, it doesn't matter. A lot of people get into egos with the number of followers equaling the best dunker. Once again, that's not the case. Dunking in general is a very subjective thing. It's opinion based. If I do a dunk, you might not like it. Someone else might love it. So at the end of the day, it's really about having fun and doing it for the reasons that you want to do it, and not I think a lot of times people stress over rim height and they want to out somebody.
They do, because when I tell you, I was looking in your comments and they were like, what is it, 12? And they were just like doing the moves.
So there was an issue with a dunker who recently posted a dunk on 12 feet Dexton, and to be honest, we don't know the rim height. My opinion, I don't care. I really don't. I don't care. It is what it is. My stance on everything in general is just kind of, do it because you love it. Do what you're passionate about. Don't worry about the next person. I've noticed in my life, when I stress about other people, dealing with the saying, the grass is always greener on the other side, and no, it's greener where you water it. So all I can control is myself. I did get a lot of hate comments when I posted the world record dunk on YouTube, and everyone's saying Dexton did it on 12, and is what it is. I'm not worried about it. He did it. He didn't. It doesn't matter to me. I'm gonna continue to do what I do, and support my brand and support my movement, and just live my best life.
Is there any type of beef? Like what y'all do? Is there do dunkers beef with each other? Or
yeah, I think there's always going to be some type of struggle, especially when you have something that's subjective. It's opinion based, so someone can be, oh, this guy's better than you, and this guy's better than you, and a lot of times guys will take that to heart. At the end of the day, once again, I try my best to just stay out of any drama, and it's funny because when I watch, my wife and I watch a lot of reality TV shows, and I've always wondered why don't dunkers get on reality TV shows? And it's keeping that for me, I would be terrible on a reality TV show because I'm not with the drama. That's kind of not my thing. So I think with other dunkers beefing with other dunkers, it happens. But for me, I try to do my own thing.
So
I understand. Yeah, definitely. If I
respect it.
If I could just be on my hoop and do my own thing, I'm living the dream. I'm no complaints.
So if you had to rank yourself,
okay,
worldwide right now, where would you rank yourself at?
Right now, this very moment, based off of my training, I definitely would put myself in the top 10. I think I would always put myself in the top 10. I'm definitely not top 3. I had knee surgery in October, and I'm slowly coming back, slower than I expected. But I mean, on any given day, when I tore my meniscus, and I competed my last competition in August, I competed super well, and I didn't even know that my meniscus was torn. So I think if need be, if I needed to step into any contest, I would always be top 5. So I think right now in the world, I definitely give myself top 5. I would not give myself top 3. So any like 4th or 5th, if I had to like give myself a ranking, 4th or 5th.
Okay, so who would you put above you?
Above me right now, I would say Connor Barth, Isaiah Rivera, Chris Staples, Myrie Bowden. For sure, like those guys on any given day. And I, everybody else, like no disrespect to anybody else. I think it's just any given day. Guy Dupuis is always one of those guys. I would put him above me too. Worm on any given day. People sleep on Worm. I gotta give a shout out to Worm. Man, and I really, it's like off the top of my head, it's hard.
Okay. So how do you view the NBA as far as dunking? Like, do you think like, are they okay? Is it average? Because y'all actually do this like professionally, like y'all are professional dunkers. So like, how do y'all view like the dunk contest and everything like that? Like, what do y'all think about that?
So I think, and I'm gonna take it from my opinion, because I do know from the dunk community, a lot of dunkers, have the mindset, oh, I'm better than NBA guys. Well, I think NBA athletes are some of the best athletes in the world. At the end of the day, if they wanted to focus on dunking, we would not exist. The dunk community would not exist. Those guys, 6'6" with a 36-inch vert is going to kill 6'3" with a 45-inch vert for most dunkers. I personally, dunking is my passion. Dunking is my craft. If I were to step into a dunk contest in the NBA, in the anything, I know, because this is what I do, I'm not losing. So if there was an NBA dunk contest and I got the chance to be in it, I would walk away with a trophy, just because this is what I do. But on the same token, like, throw me in a game, in an NBA game in 5-on-5, and I would be exposed. Like, I'd get ripped, I get blocked. So like I understand that. It's funny, I'm looking at the comments. C-Stu 7.62 will dunk on me. Not a chance. Not a chance. But no, so it's like I really respect the guys that do the NBA dunk contest. Those guys have bunnies. Those guys are very talented. They, get coached by Chuck Milan of Team Flight Brothers, so they know some stuff. So the guys that do, end up going into the dunk contest, they're putting out good stuff. I think a lot of times, especially too with the dunk community, I can go outside and I can try dunk 30,000 times and make it that one time, and I post that one attempt, and it's the coolest thing ever. The NBA guys are on the spot. If you know anything about production behind a dunk contest, a lot of times there's a lot of sitting and waiting. It's not the best conditions, and they expect you to put your best stuff on the spot. So I know it's a lot harder than it appears to be, and I think they do a really good job. What's going on down here?